I can't hear a thing. Are we live? Hello,
We're
athletes and
live.
fans of bodybuilding. I'm Lenda Murray, 8 times Miss Olympia, and I missed my cue.
What are you trying to hear? You're
I don't
working here.
know. I did not hear the intro.
Oh, well, you're the hostess with the mostest. So
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm the hostess with the mostest. Well, welcome everybody to Olympia TV. Thank you for joining us for this three-part series on the upcoming Arnold in Columbus. We have some amazing athletes, and today we will cover bikini. So we in part one, we covered fitness,
yes,
part two, wellness, and today the bikini division.
yes.
Yes. So let me introduce my co-host, the top over there, Wendy Fortino,
Hello,
IFBB
hello,
Figure
hello.
Pro. You've been on the Arnold stage.
Yes, I
You've
have.
been on the Olympia stage 8 times.
Yep,
That's
yep.
right. Yep.
Girl.
Yep. So
Right.
you know what the ladies are going through.
I do know what the ladies are going through. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And I was a part of the graduating class of the Figure International in 2022, my claim to fame.
Hey, there
Ooh.
you go, girl. Yeah.
Ooh. And 8 times Ms. Olympia, Adela Garcia. Ms. Olympia Fitness, 8 times.
Yes,
There's a lot of
ma'am.
eights
Yeah.
around here.
So you
Yeah.
hold the record, don't you, Adela?
Yes, I do.
Nobody's gonna, honey,
Goodness.
nobody's gonna win. Nobody's gonna get 8.
No, I
That's
know. That's
You're
awesome,
solid.
though. It's perfect. I used to worry about it, but I'm good now.
Yeah, yeah,
well,
it's tough. Fitness, tough.
Yeah, I
yeah.
know. I can even,
Yeah.
I don't
And
even know. I look at it, I'm like, no, thanks, not. No. So good.
Oh my
and I mean,
goodness.
Linda, Miss 8-time Olympia. So there's a lot of eights. Miss Olympia
And
8 times, Miss Fitness Olympia 8 times, and on the Olympia stage 8 times. So it's 8, 8, 8, 8.
24, girl. This is 24. This is a perfect number. I love it. Yes.
Yes, I love it
So
too.
when
I
did you
love
been
it
at the
too.
Arnold? Huh? You've been to the Arnold too, right?
Yeah, twice.
Yeah, and
So they don't have figure anymore, which is kind of a bummer, but that's okay. That's all right.
Mhm. Well,
I think
this is a perfect conversation right here because I was thinking about the women. This is an invitation only. Uh, Basically, the athletes have to submit their resumes, applications, to be invited. So we know the 12. We do not know the women out there that applied and they
right.
were not invited. So I want to say to all of those ladies out there, because you guys know, like, that's a wow, you just wait and wait for that list. And then when you see that list come out and your name's not on it, it's heartbreaking,
it is.
Yeah,
right?
unfortunately, like I honestly, I never was not in there. So it's actually it was a very special invite every year that I competed at
Mhm.
the Arnold. So I know how it is that you cannot get out of your diet if you competed at the Olympia, and you
Mhm.
got to, even though you don't even know if they're gonna get invited, you need to start prepping. You
Mhm.
don't find out until December, so then you only have a few months of prep. So
Wow.
it's work. Yeah.
Yeah.
You never
Yeah.
competed at the Arnold, Linda?
Yeah, so that's the topic here. Like briefly, just to say to the ladies out there, in
Yeah.
1989, I turned pro. I won the North American, and that was toward the end of the year of 1989. In 1990, I was waiting. Like I wanted to be in. I applied. It was a little
Yeah.
bit different as far as the way they did it, but I was not invited. My
Wow.
name did not come out on that list.
How
So I was
rude.
just one of the top pros in 1989, and I
What?
applied for the Arnold. I was not invited. And then
Oh,
9 months later, I won my
the
first Miss
Olymp.
Olympia.
Woo!
Wow, that's a
Okay.
big thing right there,
What?
girl.
What? What? Okay. That's how you
Yeah,
do
so
it.
so
That's how you
so
do
I
it.
I like to tell that just to the ladies out there before we get into talking about the ones
I
that
love that.
were
Yep.
invited, to let them know, hey, let go when it's that time. Is that time,
Yes.
and
You may still
nothing's going to
become Miss
stop you.
Olympia.
That's correct. There you go. You win it. Yeah, that's right.
That's awesome. See?
Yeah. So
You can
yeah,
never give up. You just have to go and try it. If it doesn't work, you go and knock at the other door, and you never know what's gonna happen. Right?
that's right.
I
Yeah,
love that, Lenda.
They tried to
That's a good
invite me
story.
the next year. That next year, and I think in '91, but I was like, no, thank you.
Sorry. Well, I think that's a good. That's I like that
That's
story
good.
right there. Well,
Mhm.
That's the best story.
Yeah.
Lenda,
that's
that's the
awesome.
story.
What did you say, Wendy?
I said that's the best story. I love it.
Mhm.
Love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, because really, honestly, my heart goes out to the athletes. It
Yeah.
really does. Especially, I mean, I know how tough it is because we always feel like there's favoritism sometimes. And, when you look at that list and you go, okay, I understand why Lauralie Chapados, why she was invited, and why Ms. Olympia, Maureen Blanquisco, or, the ladies that we have some top names, Aimee
Yeah.
Delgado. You
Mhm.
get that, right? So let's look at what happened. Like last year, there were just 12. Last year, so Lauralie Chapados, we know she will be back. Last year, she won, so she's defending her title. She's our current Miss Olympia. In second place in 20, 24. I'm confused. It's 25 now.
I
Aimee
know, it's crazy,
Delgado
right?
placed second.
Wow.
Third was
Vania.
Vania Auguste. I love her physique.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
me
looks
too.
really.
She
She
placed
looks great.
third last year.
Yep.
Ms. Olympia Angelica Teixeira. She
Mhm.
placed fourth. Phoebe Hagen, fifth. Ely Fernandez. She
Fernandez.
placed sixth. Rhoda Ali placed seventh. Octavia Maza, she placed eighth. Ninth, Ivana Escandar, ninth and 10th. Amanda Marquez Pereira.
Pereira.
So they're like from fifth place to 10th. They're not on the stage, the Arnold stage. So there's going to be
Crazy.
yes.
Yeah, they're all
We
the.
have this whole
Wow.
entire section of the girls will not be there. So yeah, let's see who we do have here.
But we have some heavy hitters. If you look at that top 12, I mean,
Yeah.
these girls, if you really look at that lineup, I mean, we have what? 3 Ms. Olympias competing.
And then you have the Arnold champion, defending champ. You have Angelica won the Arnold as well.
Yeah, let's go through each one.
Let's go through them. Let's start with Lauralie Chapados.
She's a three-time Arnold champ. Then we have Angelica Teixeira, who she's won 2017, 2018 champion. Vania Auguste, who was the third. Wait a minute. Yeah, she got third. I was like, she got third last year. Aimee Delgado, who took second. She is going to be hungry. Let me tell you something. We're going to get to that, but we're going to talk about her and her hunger for the Arnold and the Olympia, right?
Yeah.
Anastasia Spraggins, a new name to the big stage, which is awesome to see. Ariana Brothers. You guys can stop me if you want to. Jasmine Gonzalez, who came out and she was a huge boom on the Olympia stage, taking third.
Yes. And she won my show, the Atlanta Pro. I have to just put that in there.
Of course she did. Maria Costa, beautiful physique. Maureen Blanquisco, who's also going to be very hungry. She won.
The
she hasn't won.
She won the Olympia in 2022.
Yes.
She
JC,
did.
right?
Yes, in 22.
Right. And she has not snagged the Arnold yet. So she's going to be very hungry. And then we have Tameika Carter and Jordan Brannon and Ashlyn Little. So those are our
And
ladies.
I think of this group is really interesting because Maureen Blanquisco, she was unable to compete at the Miss Olympia bikini because of it was something to do with travel or restrictions. So I know she's going to be hungry. She wasn't there last year. The fact that Jasmine Gonzalez, she's a new name to this lineup, and she placed what, third at the
At the
Olympia?
yes.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Third, and there was another name, and I believe also Aimee Delgado. I feel like Aimee Delgado, she's probably not happy with her performance. And so she's I'm sure
She
much more
has a
prepared.
long list of competition that I was looking at. Wow. She have competed a lot. And I tell you what, that shows you how hungry she is to coming into the Arnold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because looking at all her placings, first place, that's
Right.
incredible.
Incredible. And that's, I think, going to be the challenge for Aimee. It's nice that she gets the opportunity to compete against Lauralie Chapados again so early, because what we feel like she was lacking at the Olympia, her presentation was off. Like, she's not as experienced as Lauralie Chapados on stage, and maybe not as comfortable. Lauralie's been doing this for a while. She's very comfortable. And so that makes a huge difference in bikini. You can have a great physique, everything looks magnificent, but when you walk out on that stage, I mean, everything, your walk, your presentation, where you stand, do you know your lighting, your position?
I honestly think the bikini division for me, I believe is the hardest division out there, because I have always given these girls so much prop when it comes to, because their physique, once they get to that winning physique, it's like you gotta keep it. And how do you keep that? For us, that you compete in figure, and Linda, when you compete, it's like we just wanted to get better and better and better. But how can you get any better in bikini when you are at the champ? So looking at her physique and in comparison to the lineup, I honestly, it's gonna take a lot to take that title away from her, because she is.
Well, I think
incredible.
I agree.
Yeah, and like while we're on Lauralie, so I'm gonna kind of go in the order that you had sent us, Lenda. But if we want to start with Lauralie, we are talking about the current Bikini Olympia champion, 3-time Bikini International champion. And to your point, Adela, I think that's exactly what I think people do wrong when you nail something and you have it down to a science, and then you go and you try to change things because you feel like you need to, right? And it's probably so difficult when you're being told, just don't change anything, you're literally perfect. And we all want to improve something. We all want to change something. So I've seen that before, where girls will go and they'll do something crazy with their hair or their makeup, or do something totally different with their posing. Like, they're like, something's got to be different. Or they just, because maybe they get bored or they want to just get it more exciting on their presentation. But yes, I agree with you 100%.
Look at those glutes. I mean, like, I don't have that. I want some glutes like that too.
I know, lovely.
She's known for her glutes, for sure.
And not only that, she's such a sweet girl too. Like, I got the opportunity to meet her here in Texas, and one of the girls that I coach, she just like, that's her favorite. So today I was asking her, I said, hey, Lauralie, she won. Did she win the Olympia? I thought she has won the Olympia multiple times. This is how powerful her presence is, that I just found out that she just won it in 2024. So she's coming in strong to the Arnold.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yep. And wouldn't you say, Adela, that um, when you win, okay, she's won her first Olympia. That was only what, 3 months
3 months ago.
ago?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the difference now for her, she has a lot of people in her ear. You know,
Yes.
everybody wants a piece of Lauralie, kind
Mm-hmm.
of.
Yeah.
And but the one thing that we know about her, um, she's very experienced. And when you get the opportunity to have a conversation with her, as far as just with her training, her diet, um, she's competed against Jennifer Dory. She's beat Jennifer Dory. She's competed against all these girls. Like she recognizes if it's not broke, I'm not going to fix it. So.
And she's young too, right? She's in her 20s, right?
She's in her
So
20s.
that speaks well of, she has a good head on her shoulders. She's a good representative for the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at that.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yep, and all that matters. I mean, and look at how she was just at the Olympia, just persistent. Like she just continued to show up, do what she does, and she never whined or complained
Yep.
about her placing. And she's gone back to the Arnold each time to defend her title. Because look at the fact that she's Miss Olympia and she decided to still
To go
compete.
back to the Arnold, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When most of the time, the champ, when you win the Olympia, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna take the year off. But I feel like when you at the top of the sport, it's like taking a break is hard sometimes. If you cannot take a break, I just say, just don't take it, because you gotta keep competing in order for people to get to see you. And in bikini, let's be honest, it changes. It can change within a couple of years. Like there's gonna be a new champ, so that's what they're gonna be following. So
yeah. Well, kudos to her. I mean,
yes.
yeah, because that takes a lot. It takes a lot of courage to just follow through. And because many would be uncomfortable and afraid. So who are we going with next here?
All right. So we have the one and only Maureen Blanquisco, who is definitely someone to watch out for. I don't know if people maybe have forgotten about this little powerhouse, but if you did, you will not forget about her coming into the Arnold, because she's always a force to be reckoned with. Always somebody who. The thing about Maureen is her physique is one of the physiques that I feel like is a little bit different than your standard typical like bikini competitor frame. She has a very petite frame. She's a little bit more curvy, and she just has a different look than the rest of the girls, and it stands out in its own unique way, which I love. I love that she has her own very very unique little package.
And it's something, I don't know what it is, but I remember when she won the Olympia, she had a pink bikini, and that kind of became that staple, right? I don't know if her hair was different, but I couldn't recognize her on here. I love that red in her, and I love the red lipstick, her hair, and like you said, it is like she is it's unique physique compared to the other fitness girls, but she's gorgeous, and look at
yeah.
wow.
I mean, it's interesting when we go and we gather all the photos of these athletes, and there's still shots, right? Like,
Wow.
you can tell the girls that are so on point, because they're not a lot of every pose, like it's almost like they come to life. And she does a couple of things and moves with her legs and her flow, her presentation, it captures you.
Yes. Wow.
It captures you. Yes.
I really like that new look on her though. That red. It's beautiful.
The
I like
red one.
this. Oh yeah. I mean, it's just like a different person, but it really fits her well.
Yeah. So how do you guys feel when an athlete, like if red works on you, how do you not deviate from a color that works? How
I
do
don't
you,
know.
you
I
know what I
think,
mean?
yeah. I mean, I remember always asking Sandy, like, what suit I should pick, and she will say, just stick with the dark colors, like, maroon, or every time I had my suit maker create a new suit, even with the stoning, I always say, let's put a combination of different colors because it's
Mm-hmm.
what suits me well. But back in the days, I don't know if Wendy had to experience this, but we needed to keep changing things where we didn't need to. So we would spend
Yes.
more money when we didn't need to spend more money. Instead, they started telling the
Yeah.
girls, yeah, you don't need to change your routine. You don't need to change your two piece because it's fine. We don't even remember that, when you go to
Yeah.
the
I know.
road.
I
Yeah.
think that we just naturally we want to change something just because we want a new look, or maybe it injects us with a little bit of excitement and motivation.
Yes.
But you're talking to somebody who I won my pro card in 2011 at the USA. I won the overall with a green suit. That was the first time I wore
Yes.
green on stage.
Yeah.
And I tried to deviate a couple of times and I never feel like myself. I just feel like when I wear
Okay.
green, I just feel like me. And honestly, I got to the point where like, I don't care if people are going to think I always look the same because it works. It's the look that I feel myself in, and I feel the most confident. And I just look the most when I wear the color that I feel like is my best color. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow. So you're saying that all 8 of your Olympias, because I knew your color that is green. All of your 8 Olympias, you wore green.
Every single one except for one was teal. It was like a different shade of green, but it was still in the green family.
She's like, let me do the teal, but it's still green.
Mm.
You won the USA's overall.
Yeah.
Was sister girl. I won the USA too. That's how I got my pro card.
Woo,
Nice.
Yeah, but
Miss
mine was in
That's a tough,
1999.
the USA is scary. It's a tough one.
That's awesome.
Okay, 8 Olympia.
You
That's
said
the
what?
scariest one.
No, yeah. What, talking about the USA? Ooh, back in the day. Back in the day, the USA only the overall one.
See, Camille said
Yeah,
if ain't broke it, don't fix it. So she said
yeah.
so. Camille. Yeah.
Yep. I agree with you, Camille. Camille's got it. Yes.
So who's next? Who's next?
All right. So we have now Aimee Delgado.
Yes, that girl is competed in like almost every show in 2024.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. I mean, wow. I mean, the last 2 years, I mean, she won the New York Pro 24 and 23, I believe. Aimee Delgado.
Well, she won New York Pro, Pittsburgh Pro.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to say, Warrior Pro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And in 2023, she she placed 6th at the Olympia.
Yeah.
And she has a lot of 2023 Pittsburgh Pro first. Wow.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is going to be an interesting one because she placed 2nd last year.
Yes. Okay. Here's the interesting thing about Aimee. Okay. Aimee is somebody who is always in the mix. We had her on the Olympia battles. A lot of people are looking at Aimee and thinking she has what it takes to potentially win the Olympia at some point, win the Arnold. I mean, she's so well put together and she comes with such a beautiful look. I mean, there's not one pro show that's not the Olympia and the Arnold that she doesn't go and win, right? She's even beaten Olympia champions at a non-Olympia show before the Olympia. I mean, she's like always on a roll. She's always somebody that we're looking at. And then it's always like, well, okay, when she gets to the Olympia, and last year she placed, I think, 8th, and then this year she placed 6th. even though she moved up, she was somebody that everyone was talking about getting like in the top 3 at, somewhere in the mix. So this is what I'm saying. This is why I feel like she must be very hungry, because it's like you could probably taste it between everybody talking about her, knowing what she's got going for her, knowing that she absolutely can take that #1 spot. It's always going to be interesting. She's one of the ones with the curvier physique. She has very beautiful, round, muscular proportions. It doesn't look over the top, but there's a little bit more muscle there than some of the other bikini girls. She holds it well though. So I don't know. I really think she can win the Arnold or the Olympia, depending on how everybody shows up that day, what she shows up with. She's one to look out for sure.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I agree completely. And what I feel is that her showing at the Olympia, she probably had the pressure on her, and she's new. She doesn't have the same experience that a Lauralie Chapados or Jennifer Dory or Maureen Blanquisco. I remember Maureen, when we had her on the show, Maureen said, like, "Oh girl, I'm not nervous. That's my time." She just says she flourishes when she's on stage and she doesn't have the nerves. But we did see the nerves on Aimee Delgado at the Olympia. So I feel like we know she's going to come in great shape, right? Because she was in very good shape at the Olympia, but we saw the nerves. So I think that she has a lot to show us, and she's going to bring it.
Yep.
And she looks, look at that physique. It's beautiful.
Yeah, she's got a beautiful physique. I forgot about that, Lenda. You bring that up, and I agree. I think that maybe the nerves do get to her. I can relate to that because I'm the same way. I somehow, for whatever reason, when I get on that big stage, I can't explain it. Something comes over me, and I'm still trying to overcome that. But it is an interesting variable that we don't really talk about a lot, right? It's like how much those last minute nerves at the big shows affect us versus some of the smaller shows. And I wouldn't say the Pittsburgh Pro is a smaller show, but it definitely feels different than when you're about to walk on the Olympia stage. You know that everybody's watching, you know, everybody's thinking about this show. It's a different feel, and it has a different essence to it, and it takes over you totally different. I don't know, Adela, if you ever faced any of that?
Oh my God. People they all ask me, I used to get nervous. I'm like, even on I get nervous on the routine round, but the physique round, yes, always. It didn't matter that I'd done it 20,000 times. Every time you step on that stage, it's always nervous. And then, because you just, like that call out, this first call out, you just like, you just start shaking and your mouth starts shaking. It's like, and you're like, it's just, it's like she said, I can't explain it, but everything is shaking and you're trying to control it. But it's just, being at the Olympia is incredible. My first Olympia, it's nervous to get next to those girls too. So
because you have to walk with how can I say it? First of all, you guys are in heels, and you only have what 1 minute. Is it 1 minute? So there's no room for error, right? There's no room for error.
Well, did they cut it to 1 minute? I thought it was longer now they cut it down a little bit.
So I'm not sure.
45 seconds,
what is it?
Actually.
Wouldn't it be the same for figure? Wendy, your presentation?
They said 45 seconds at the Olympia.
It's 45 seconds.
45 seconds. Yeah.
But they changed it because it used to be longer, because I remember like 2020, I'm like, okay, they keep walking and walking and walking.
Yeah.
I think it's just
like my first couple Olympias, they didn't give us a time at all. Like people were, but that's why they had to start doing it, because I remember, I will never forget this. I can't remember which Olympia it was. It might have been like 2016, maybe. But I remember it was like the first time there were like 45 bikini girls competing at the Olympia. They had added so many bikini pro shows, and there were 45 girls and they had no time limits. The first girl goes on, and I won't even say who it is, but she was on there for 3 minutes. I'm not exaggerating. 3 minutes, walking to the front of the stage, walking to the back of the stage, the front, the back, front pose, back pose. I mean, for 3 minutes, she was up there doing all this stuff. And the judges, you can tell, but if you imagine 45 girls doing 3 minutes each, they were like, you guys, we got to start doing time limits. So I think they realized, okay, we got to they're pros, they're top pros, but we can't, like, this is just not going to work.
Yeah. It's not going to work. Yeah.
So
this week next we have
did we do Angelica? Who's next?
Yeah. So you know that Angelica,
Miss Olympia.
This
Two
is going to
times
be
Miss Olympia Bikini, Angelica.
Yes. And
she won this in 2018, right?
Yeah.
She did. Yeah. And also 2017.
And you guys know that this is going to be her last competition?
No, really?
Yeah. She's announced that she's going to retire after the Arnold.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so what do you ladies think? Do you think Angelica can take this?
Looking at her physique, honestly, it's just, I mean, she has 2 kids, and I tell you what, like seeing her, she's from here, from Texas, and I love Angelica. It's somebody that I got to know, and she gives a lot to the sport. She's always willing to come in, help out, whatever we need, whenever we have any type of workshop. And when she decided to come back, I remember just watching her after having the baby, and then all of a sudden, she's in shape. I'm like, okay, wow. So honestly, I mean, she looks great.
And just think, guys, she placed 4th at this past Olympia.
Yeah.
4th. And the bikini lineup, I believe we had close to we definitely have 45 IFBB bikini pros that qualified for the Olympia. So when you say that she placed 4th,
yes,
you know, it's with 2 kids, and just really amazing.
Yeah, and it's that sometimes, after you retire and you come back again, and I know for some athletes, after having kids, your body doesn't respond that well. And for her, it's like, look, and you can even tell, it's just a different type of lineup. And I think she has the potential to maybe be her last show and probably walk away with that title.
Wow. I know Angelica likes that.
Yes, she does. Go ahead.
I think that you're right. I think it'll be a very tight race. But I think that these ladies, well, they're all so sweet. They're all such sweethearts. And I know that no matter what happens, that they're absolutely going to all root for each other, which is so nice. I just know that about this because I know all of them personally. And I just know that they're all rooting for each other. Also, they're very fierce competitors. They are very fierce. I mean, we have Lauralie, Maureen, Aimee Delgado, now Angelica. So we're kind of like going down the trail of women that, absolutely have what it takes to take this whole title. They all know what it feels like to be champions at a top show. They know that feeling, and I know that they all want that feeling. They are going to fight really hard for that. Angelica has a lot going for her,
Yes.
She did have 2 kids, but she still has a great shape. She's great presentation, and it's going to be really what they all look like next to each other.
Yeah. And I think what she has going for her more than anything is experience. You know, she has that experience, and also she's at peace. She retired, she came back, and she's just at peace. She's enjoying this. This is fun for her. So it's a win-win. And when the nerves, that means a lot. That makes a huge difference. So
when you get nervous, you forget everything. You don't even know how to present yourself to the judges. So that's very important, to just keep calm while you're walking on that stage to present that physique.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for, we have Vania. Gosh,
Vania?
Vania.
Wow.
She has
Beautiful structure.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Wow.
structure. And
She
she
really
placed
does.
third at the Arnold.
Yeah. Wow. She's so beautiful. I'm just like,
It
when you
was,
look,
it's at
you
the
look at
Olympia.
someone and just that instant, just wow, just beauty.
The hair, from hair to toe,
Okay.
skin,
Lenda, what do you
makeup.
think?
Oh my goodness. I've always loved her physique, and I was really happy to see, watch her journey and watch how well she's done. I was really happy to see. I think she placed fifth at the Olympia this
Yes.
past year. So
Yes.
this is going to be really interesting. I think this upcoming show at the Arnold for bikini, because we have some heavy hitters.
Yeah.
And she can smell it. She knows. Like look at her. I love her her glutes,
Yes.
just
Her
her
whole
structure, her
physique is just
balance of her
beautiful.
structure.
Yes.
So, the thing about Vania, okay, and I've always thought this as soon as I saw her on stage, is she reminded me the most of Maureen Blanquisco. They both have these curvy little tight little packages with just you just see roundness, like the quads are round, that there's no striations and no separations. It's
Yes.
kind of exactly what Sandy's been talking
Bikini.
about wanting to see in the bikini, where you see those beautiful round curves, but you don't see a single line or shred. It's kind
Yes.
of, you look at it and you go, I don't know how this is humanly possible, but but it is,
Correct.
and there's
You're
that
absolutely
beautiful
right.
top.
Right.
And
Right,
that
to
red
be
is
that
so
lean
pretty
with-
on her. Look at that.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I agree.
Beautiful
I like the red.
skin.
See, that's what I always feel like
Mm-hmm.
bikini is so hard. It's like that look. How do you even, like you said it, it's just how can you come in like that and not have any definite striation, any, because that's what bikini is all about. They don't want to see those abs shredded like the way it used to be. Everything has to be just nice and soft, but at the same time, proportionate too. And yeah, look at that. Yeah,
Totally.
I love.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. It just
Honestly, all I want is to have those glutes. That's it. It's fine.
I know. It's just
I'm coming back to compete in bikini. Just kidding.
oh my God.
Hey, wait a minute, Adela. Why not? You're throwing these things out there, and I'm gonna
girl, like
question. You
55 and over, like no, 55 and over. I'm good.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's like Jasmine Gonzalez.
Okay, what do you guys think about Jasmine?
I think she's Dominican. Is she Dominican? I think she's from the Dominican Republic.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I believe this is her second invite. I felt like almost like she came out of but that was in 21, so she's not new to the stage.
Interesting. Okay. I was gonna say, because I don't see her on last year's. Got it. Interesting.
And she's just coming from placing third at the Olympia. Bikini. She came out of nowhere.
Third.
Yes.
And that feels so good to like sit there and see that. It makes me say, okay, I really understand why I promote and put on the Atlanta Pro. Because I feel really good when I see the athlete. Oh yeah, she won, she qualified for the Olympia
at your show,
via
right?
the Atlanta. Because it's a lot of work, right, Adela? You go through a lot.
Yes, that's awesome. That she qualified at your show in 2024.
That's correct.
Oh my God.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to say about Jasmine, and I think that a lot of people can probably relate to this thought. And that is that because there's so many bikini girls that are so amazing, and when you don't know someone's name yet, you're not necessarily looking at them or looking for them.
Yes.
I would say that's kind of what happened with Jasmine for me at the Olympia. She wasn't someone that I was really had my eye on. And
Yes.
then after she got third, all of a sudden, I really had my eye on her. And when I started looking more into her physique and I started looking at things that she was posting, I go, wow, this girl is put together well. I mean, I didn't have my radar on her. And then all of a sudden, now that I do, I'm looking at how phenomenal her whole entire makeup is. I mean, she's got the roundness to her glutes. She has those beautiful lines. Her structure is so well put together, great proportions. I love the width of her shoulders to her waist ratio. And the only thing with her that I would even say is, as opposed to like Maureen and Vania that we were talking about, she is somebody who, it's like Camille was saying, is if it's not broke, don't fix it. She came in like a little bit tighter, that could hurt her. If they start seeing lines on her and her abs popping too much, and she looks like someone who's very genetically gifted, so I could see that happening to her if she tried to get like a little bit better and end up hurting her. So that's the one thing I would say with her is like to keep those lines nice and soft and
yeah, I agree, because when she turned to the rear, when she does that I could see definition and lines in her hamstrings. Like
you can see that
might like be too much.
A little tie-in in there, and even on her abs as well. And like that's something that, like I mentioned earlier, they don't want to see that, right? So for the girls that are naturally like built that way, that they had that type of genetic, because it looked like she was athlete. It's just hard. How can you not have those little abs marking there? That's just that's why for me bikini is just a division that is very hard.
It is. Yeah, when she pivots, like I think right in here, not here, but when she pivots, like turns to you can see that separation. Like I looked at her hamstring. So you're right. It's hard to like maintain a certain look.
So for her, her posting is going to be very important in that way, that she can control that in order that you can appear that lean for the judges not to.
And see, that's and there you go right there. People take for granted, like when she walks away, like that's part of the posing.
Yeah.
They have to practice walking a certain way to maintain and have an understanding, like, okay, this shows up when you do that, so don't do that, and then still be calm and act like it's just natural.
Yes.
Totally. So we have we're going to talk about Miss Maria Acosta. Beautiful, tight little package. She is on the leaner side. That's kind of what we've been talking about, and it's crazy because with these divisions, and somebody was asking us what we think about the new division coming up. And one thing that everybody has to keep in mind is that the Arnold and the Olympia, these are our kind of litmus tests for what we're all going to be expecting moving forward in each division. The judges have to be very careful about following the criteria. They are really diligent about that. And sometimes a girl can go on stage and have the absolute best physique of the whole entire group, but it's not necessarily about that when the judges are trying to get it right in the criteria for the division. So somebody like Maria Acosta, who has an absolutely phenomenal physique, going up against the girls with like softer, rounder muscles, if she can nail it, she will absolutely be up there because she has everything it takes. But I'm this way too. Genetically, my body wants to get leaner and have more lines and more, more shreds. So it would be really hard for me to nail that full soft look on my muscles as I get leaner. But if she can nail that, which seems like it is a science. If she can nail that, she'll absolutely be up there. So
I agree.
And another thing too is like some physiques, I mean, they just don't look good soft. And that's I think that's
the point too.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem because I know some of the girls like, okay, the judges will tell you, hey, you need to be a little bit softer, but it's kind of hard for someone. I could never look going to competing and my body be soft because I could never look good that way. So I always had to come in a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
So she's gonna have to just kind of be a little bit aware of that in order for her not to get too much for the judges to take points away from her. But look at those glutes. Wow.
Oh man, she's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's just such a beautiful package. I don't know any female who would not want to look like this. You know what I mean? Wow. Like that's, I mean, we're talking about the best of the best here. I mean, absolutely stunning. I like her posing too.
Yeah, this is a strong lineup for this Arnold.
Right.
I think it's to me, this has been the hardest lineup that I've seen for the Arnold Classic. Honestly,
I agree. I was thinking about that.
All of them. Like when I saw the lineup and when you sent all those pictures, I'm like, oh my god! Like these girls, none of them has a flaws. How? Yeah, this is gonna be really tough for these judges. So
yeah, that's what I thought too. I said this is a great lineup, and you know, these ladies just did so well at the Olympia. We already know that they're going to
Let me ask you this, girls. So did you think sometime because the girls, I know when they see the winner of the show go with different color for their suit, everybody wants to go on with that suit. Do you think sometimes I feel like the girls just need to find their own niche and just because I feel like they get lost sometimes. Even though as a judge, when they looking at the same color or suit, if I just, you know, you're just looking at all of them. You're like, okay, well, which one is which? So,
yeah,
they need to have those eyes. So I don't know if that can affect some of the girls if they will switch from one color to another. Because I see now a lot of the girls are in red, and when I look at them,
I think it's hard to say at the higher levels. But I will say this. To your point, when you go and you look at all the girls at the Olympia, for example, the top 4 girls in the wellness division all had red suits. So if you're looking at this red suits, blonde hair, and you're going, okay, that's the look. So a lot of girls that are kind of coming up in the sport, they're looking at that and going, okay, so a red suit and blonde hair, that's the winning look. Or, you know, in bikini, it's like when Lauralie wins in blue with this long, beautiful dark hair.
Yes.
Okay, a blue suit with long dark hair, that's the look. And I think people get it in their head that that's the look. What they don't realize is that Lauralie, when she was picking her look, she's thinking, how am I going to stand? How am I going to be
exactly? That's what I wanted to kind of bring up. When like you have to pick a color that is going to make you stand out from everybody else. So I think that keeping that in mind for everybody that, you know, when you're stepping on stage with this lineup, it's like you're gonna have to make absolutely something to make you stand out. Like here, this color is perfect.
Speaking of colors, yeah, I really like what she did at the Olympia. I like her. I like the teal on her. And this Jordan Brannon, she went with a teal, and she also darkened her hair. I know she's been a little bit blonder than this in the past. I like this look on her. I think it looks
interesting
stunning.
that you mentioned the hair because the whole lineup, pretty much all of the ladies, they're all brunettes.
Yes.
Except for, and I'm used to seeing Jordan more like lighter color hair. Don't you? I think, or who is because I've heard that said, like when I look at wellness, all those girls, the top 4, all of them like had on red, I think, and they all had blonde hair, and it was like, I know them, so I know, and you know their physiques, but I think it's an art, and you really do have to
you gotta master that.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
And this is her first invitation to the Arnold Classic, so I'm pretty sure that she's ecstatic about competing at her first Arnold Bikini International.
So this is the first time too, you guys, you said that she changed her hair color slightly.
She did. Yeah, she got a little darker. I like it like this. It's like kind of an ombre dark to light. I think it looks very stunning on her. But I wonder if, and I would be feeling the same way because I'm a blonde. You see all the girls winning and they all have dark hair, and you're going,
right.
Am I gonna win if I make my hair dark? Like what?
You know, I think you gotta go away.
Like, I'm serious. You know?
No. Yeah.
I think this hair looks beautiful on her.
Yeah, it does.
I would say I like her kind of in the middle. She's like, okay, I'm not gonna deviate from my blonde, but I'll compromise with you guys a little bit here, and I'll make it a little darker, but we're still blonde, honey.
Yeah. I know Gary Udit, he would always say that he has an opinion about blonde. He said all the girls want to go blonde, and then he kind of said that it would wash you out or something. Like, I'm not really sure exactly why, but that would be a really tough one for me, because if you love rocking blonde hair, or you're brunette, to go from brunette to blonde, or blonde, that'd be a lot.
Gary Udit told me that I should go dark. So
he did. Okay,
I know he likes dark hair.
Wow. So a judge told you that you should go from blonde to dark, and you made the decision to follow your own mind and do what works for Wendy. Which I think is
important. I think
I agree with you.
You know, because you've got to also realize that there's a lot of people that they have their preferences, they have their own looks that they like. It could be a judge, it could be, somebody that you hold a lot of weight with their opinion. At the end of the day, the look that you go for, it should be the one that makes you feel the most beautiful, the sexiest, the most, you're owning it. And if you deviate from something that makes you feel that way, it doesn't matter whose preference that is, because you're not going to exude that inner confidence that really has to be there in order for you to do your best on stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
So so we're going to go on here to Ariana Brothers, and she's beautiful. Oh my gosh, Adela, this is like a crazy lineup, right?
This is the first invitation. This is the first Arnold. So another one that she is coming in, super excited for her first Arnold Bikini International. Yes. She also plays, coming from the Olympia, she placed 13 at the Mr. Olympia. So nice. I think for the Arnold, they're always going to look at that top 15, from the Olympia in order for them to get invited. So, I mean, this is a tough lineup. Looking at her, she has a beautiful physique as well.
Yeah, she does. Really does. Yeah, that's huge. First invitation, and again, placing 13th. That's so not bad.
No, especially after
the lineup from the Olympia. I mean, that's
45 girls competing at the Olympia. That is, you make it into the top 20 is just exciting to be able to do that.
So I wonder if there's more pressure on them, like a little. How would it feel to go through prejudging and really not be like in a big herd? You know what I mean? Because how do you, it's nice when you come out you do your individual presentation. A lot of decisions are made there, but I'm sure it's maybe there's more pressure. I mean, I wonder what she feels like that she's going to, she competed against Lauralie and these ladies at the Olympia, but it's definitely going to be different.
I think that it's going to feel probably her nerves are going to be a little bit higher, but maybe she'll find out she's going to be like Maureen Blanquisco, who thrives under that kind of stress. And those are the ones that's the cream that usually rises to the top, right? Big shows are where you really find out what these athletes are made of and who can handle the pressure, who can get to those, get to those big shows and not let it get to them. This is really good to see the newer athletes go on stage and see how they are able to handle the whole. I'm nervous thinking about it.
I know you are. Yeah.
You can hear it in my voice. Oh my God.
And you're looking at her competition history. Just, I mean, she's one of the brand new competitors as well. So to be invited to the Arnold in 2025, that's a big deal. And I honestly, I will be nervous going into the Arnold with that type of lineup. I mean, it's just great to be able to stand up next to those top athletes. You know, Angelica that won the Arnold multiple times, and Lauralie as well. So
yes, and everyone, sorry, we're gonna be going a little bit longer here because we want to make sure we get to everyone. We're probably gonna go like, you know, our normal hour show. It's probably gonna be about 5 minutes over because we don't want to miss anyone. But we do have Tameika, Ashlyn Little, and Anastasia still to go over. So we're gonna we're gonna go here with Tameika. Oh my goodness, so gorgeous! My gosh. Okay,
I know, absolutely. I know.
She's been at the Olympia twice.
She's really happy for her.
Yeah, she qualified for the Olympia twice last year, and then she placed 16 in the 2024 and 15 in 2023. So first, look like this is her first invitation to the Arnold. So another one that she's gonna add that to her career, competitive career, being at the Arnold Classic with this lineup as well.
And look at her glutes. I mean, she's taller, on the taller side. So I know, again, we were having that conversation about the different types of physiques, and sometimes like being fuller may not necessarily look good on your body. If they try to say, oh, you know, they think it's kind of easy. Oh, you just need to be a little bit fuller. You're a little bit too lean. Well, if that's not how your body functions, as far as, you know, like spillover, maybe her midsection is not as tight. If you try to do something a little bit different, but she has a beautiful physique, and I know she's on the taller side. I know she's taller than, I believe she may be in the same height with Lauralie, but she's definitely taller than Maureen and Angelica.
Right now, I'm trying to find her Instagram account.
And she's taller than Aimee Delgado. She's taller than Vania, Jasmine, Maria.
I always feel like for taller athletes, it's a little bit harder when it comes to the training and putting muscle, you know, than for us short girls. So it's a little bit easier, you know. Remember Aaron Stern? She was it bikini or figure? No, she was.
She did both. She did. She won initial figure, then she started competing in bikini.
In bikini, yes. Yeah, for some reason I thought that she was a bikini, but it was figure where she won the figure Olympia multiple times.
Camille, this is a really good question. I just now see it. That's a really good question, actually. Will the bikini division eventually favor a little sharper tie-ins than currently with the new fit male division in the horizon? Gosh, that is a really good question.
Yes. I really don't know, because the criteria, whenever, you know, I was telling you guys about my experiences judging, right? At the nationals, and the look is that they don't want to see tie-ins, like they don't want to see too much definition, and I think that's something that Tameika kind of brings into the stage, and it's something that I think it can hurt them. And I believe that they really trying to go, whenever you're judging, they want the judges to stick to that criteria. But I also feel like it's different judges at different shows, so it's going to be hard in a way for them to stay, you know, consistent. So it is, this new fit model division is going to be a game changer for the whole industry to see what's going to happen, because hopefully they can keep it where it's going to be just that criteria, so it doesn't start getting out of control.
Correct. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Oh, I like her, Ashlyn.
Yeah, I think that was really, really well put, for sure.
Yes.
And then we have our little Ashlyn Little, who really is just a mini powerhouse. I have seen her in person. We're shorties. We're both 5 feet tall shorties, but she's just this tiny little powerhouse package. And like when she's somebody who, when she has her sweats on and everything, you just think that she's just this little person. And then she takes and you're like, pow, just round shoulders, like round little muscle bellies. And she's really shocks you because she's so impressive looking, but she looks like this little person when she's hiding underneath her sweats. So everyone is always looking at Ashlyn when it comes to talking about the top girls. I
met her at the 2024 Republic of Texas, where she qualified for the Olympia, and I was like, wow, I was impressed by her. It's her physique, her whole presentation. You know, she just she brings it. She brings it to that stage, and I like her whole the blonde hair, the blue suit on her. It just fits her well.
Looks great.
You know, one thing is like for her, she just needs to be careful, because when I saw her on stage, I thought she was a little bit more wellness. You know, that she could be wellness, but I mean, looking at her glutes, it's, you know, she just cannot get too much in order. But I mean, her physique is beautiful.
So how tall is she, you think, Wendy?
She's either my height or, I mean, maybe a half inch shorter, but she's around 5 feet ish, I think.
Like 5'1.5", 5'1.5", like you're only 5.
I'm 5 feet.
Oh wow!
I know. A lot of people think that.
I'm 5'25", girl. Yeah, she looks great. She looks amazing.
You're like, I beat you, Wendy. I got a half inch on you. No,
yeah, I think she did. She's gonna bring it to the arm.
And it's hard for really tall, right? Yeah. Shorter girls, it's harder because, you know, you're trying to fight some of the lines, you know, trying to keep your waist looking tiny when you're most likely your torso is shorter and you have a little bit more struggles versus a taller girl with a longer torso. Those girls tend to thrive more in the bikini division because they can make their midsection look tinier and angles. So everything has to be put together just right. But then the tall girls that are like taller than normal, then the muscles are more stretched out and you're dealing with how do you make the muscles nice and round when it's stretched out so high. So the taller and the shorter girls are usually in the, you know, battling the most struggles. So when you see someone so short and tiny, but so well put together, it does pop out and stand out on stage.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Beautiful. And she's been on Olympia stage. I mean, right now, what did you say? 5 times?
5 times.
Yeah. Yep.
A
lot of experience.
So that was Ashlyn. And now we have Anastasia. Let me find her.
And she is a new name. I just
I love
so that. She, from what I see, I don't believe she's qualified ever for the Olympia. I really tried to find that information on her.
Did she win Arnold, maybe?
That could be possible.
Sometimes they do. What was that?
Yeah, if they win the Arnold, amateur Arnold, they always get an invitation. Yeah.
That would make sense. She's beautiful. So can you imagine what she feels like? She's going to compete against Ms. Olympia, three Ms. Olympias on one of the largest stages. Really, I believe she turned pro winning the junior nationals.
Let's see.
So, so Anastasia, here's the thing with Anastasia. She looks like she is a diamond, waiting to
diamond in the rough. Yeah.
I think, and this all with her, it's the very, very minor things that I think can go a long way. I think that a little bit better cut on her suit right here, a little bit better color, maybe something that pops.
Right,
her hair is
something that pops, because that suit
her
kind
hair
of blends in with her body.
Right, yeah. Her hair is absolutely gorgeous, but I think that, you know, if she had it like styled a little bit, you know, a little bit more around her face,
more contained at the top. It's
right.
Yeah.
With her, it's like the details that we'll learn as we go. You know, sometimes when someone's a newer pro, you haven't been on stage a bunch of times, you have these raw talents. They hit the stage and they haven't nailed like the hair and the makeup and those little details yet, because it takes all of us a little bit of time to nail. No one nails right out of the gate. But sometimes somebody's talent outpaces their experience to get to that, right? So she looks to me like just a raw talent that everyone should probably watch out if she pulls it all together and she gets all those details just right. She looks like someone who could come out of nowhere and just be like, hey.
Yeah, you're right. Because a lot of the times, like whenever for me, when I first started competing, and I remember the magazines always oxygen making, you know, she's not the most glamorous. So, you know, you got to pick up those little things when somebody take those criticism into as a good way for you to improve yourself, because it's just little things that just going to make you better and stand out. So the one thing I was going to say is like about Bikini is what they changed on the suits. Remember when bikinis first started? So the suit used to be all the way on your hip. And I think it was not that flattering for the girls. And they were working so hard on making those waists smaller, but once the bikini started to change and the cut was a little bit different, it just completely changed the whole bikini division into like, wow, you know, because the suit, whenever you wear it down on your hip, you have no waist. It's just
correct.
So
that's
you know, looking at her suit on the back to, like Wendy was saying, that cut on the back to just, you know, just have somebody make it a suit that is gonna flatten her physique a little bit better. But other than that, I mean, she's gorgeous.
Yeah, because even when you look at like those little small details, I mean, you look at her when she turns to the rear, like the fact that her hair, like, my eyes go to her hair and they go to her glutes.
Right.
And you don't want, your hair should not be like a distraction. You can't even really see like her shoulder. So it's just small things she needs to make changes to.
Yeah, and she has the physique, the bikini. If you look at the criteria, she has that physique. So if she makes the smaller changes coming into the Arnold, she can be the dark horse that nobody was expecting. You know, so.
Easy money, Anastasia. Easy money.
Yes,
these
girl.
Are these are the like, if you're gonna get any kind of critique, this is literally the best kind that you could possibly get.
Exactly.
I mean, the stuff that you have total control over, and I would say that's the absolute best thing anyone could ever probably hear as an athlete is, you know, oh my gosh, like change a little bit of the detail stuff, and then I'm money. Okay, that's the best.
There we go. That's what I'm saying. Yes. Yep. Well, we have a lot to look forward to. And like we said, probably one of the, it's going to be very interesting because we have some heavy hitters. Congratulations to all 12 women. You were invited to the Arnold. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. To all our fans out there, guys, if you have not subscribe, please subscribe to our channel and like our videos because we work really hard. Right, ladies?
Yes.
We work hard. Yes.
Yeah, all the stuff, putting it all together. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, well, and guys, we will be next weekend. We're gonna be where? We're gonna be at
Women's Workshop.
Women's Workshop next week.
That's right.
Yeah, we're gonna be there.
We'll be at the NPC National Women's Workshop in Orlando. What is it? The 25th of January, right?
Yes. So we're gonna have a lot of stuff for you guys. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, you're right. We're gonna interview all the top pros. Everybody's gonna be there. Lauralie.
I can't wait to see you ladies. We're gonna have fun.
I know. Like, I got some pictures.
have fun. No, just
Girl, I got pictures of you and I together, and I have so many pictures of Linda and I together. But I got pictures of you and I together back when I competed in Pittsburgh. Yeah, we got to get some more. We go.
Yes.
We go all the way
we're gonna do that,
girl. Yes. Yes.
Update.
All right, guys.
Thank you guys for listening.